This is, a core aspect of emotional intelligence that comes from it. Motivated people are optimistic no matter what they face. They see the good in a situation. They see that the opportunity that it doesn't necessarily mean that there's a threat or there's a weakness or there's something critical. Everything is an opportunity. Everything makes you grow. You've probably heard it, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. And I believe that is the case with this kind of approach to thinking. Approach to kind of your general ethos of life. And I think coming to an Institute of Science and Technology, again, where people are focused on, like I said, developing cognitive intelligence, technological, scientific thinking and skills, I think it's essential. I think it's a very important part of your personal development and study that you do something which develops your sense of social responsibility, your sense of understanding the world, and also the sense of really developing your own emotional intelligence as well. It should be part of your core study in an institute like this. Otherwise, and we'll see in the next session, you're going to come out, I see it too often, like I said with the example of a doctor who's dealing in medical science and a person who really doesn't care about human beings or doesn't have that sense of understanding people emotionally. Just sees you as a piece of meat. But you want to go to a doctor who sees you as a piece of meat, okay, as a physical object, rather than a living, breathing, thinking, feeling human being. Okay, that finishes the first section today. Any comments or questions before we take our break? I'll just take these two questions here.
Thank you very much. Please, how important is it emotionally when somebody is not smiling? And how do you change this act?
Thank you. Brilliant question. Brilliant question. And first, from the emotional intelligence point of view, you're right. If I see a signal in an individual that they're not smiling, or the smile, there's two ways to smile, and I saw it there today. There's the smile. There's a smile on your face. It lights up your eyes, and there's life in your eyes. Yes, that smile. When someone gives you that smile, it's special. Yes, okay. And so when you see a smile, the eyes are not there, or other things, you're picking up those signals. You can see there's something not right. Or that you see in a person that they're not happy or jovial, then emotional intelligence will say that something's not going right. And then perhaps we should ask why. How do you feel? And open-ended questions. You don't go up to that person, why are you not smiling? That doesn't work. Tell me how you feel. What's going on? How's study? How's family? What we're going to do next week. We got plans. Just build a conversation with them. Develop that. Conversation. So smiling is obviously a critical thing. The whole body language which is associated with the smiling as well. And a part of you, look, if you want to make people in your life grow, one of the things, and I'm going to touch on in the next session, one of the things that you make them feel good about themselves, and you're making them feel, that happiness is there. But equally, like I said, it's interesting. People will sometimes put the veneer or the appearance that they're happy, but you can still see that there's something which isn't happy about them because that, you understand the whole behavior. The other interesting theory out there is the theory that, and it is, put yourself in an environment of happy people, and you will be happier. It does. You will. That has an impact in terms of your behavior because you're in an environment where a lot of people are positive. Put yourself in an environment of positive, happy people who are optimistic about the future, who energize you as a result of that, and make you smile. And the more you smile, the more you become as part of your behavior. There is a theory called fake it until you make it. Okay? And there is some value in it. There is absolutely some value to that theory. If I put myself in another environment of people who are doom and gloom, everything is bad, nothing is going to be good, everything bad happens to us, victim mentality, not even looking at the positives in their lives, that becomes the paradigm. And it's so difficult to change the paradigm when that becomes the negative thing. So surround yourself with people who are positive, upbeat, energize you, and give you energy. And one of the things, don't surround yourself with toxic people, poisonous people, who just pull your emotional energy. Okay, everyone's got them in life. I've got one of them in my life. Yeah. For everyone, it's one person. He pulls all of the energy out of me. Okay? So yeah.
Most of us, as the young generation, we are always in a rush. So, what will be your advice when the person finds himself in depression, in deep depression?
Yes.
The advice how to get out of this depression.
Okay. Well, look, the first thing I could say, you're right. You know, young people sometimes they don't pick up signals too late, and then they start to go down to the negative kind of cycle. And the first thing, obviously, and it's very difficult sometimes, even in that state of clinical depression, serious depression, for you to have a dialogue with that person. Okay. Just quickly, obviously, I'll maybe touch on it later. Key things is that when you see a friend or someone else in this situation, they need help. So try to get them help from people who are qualified, counsellors, psychologists, maybe to a doctor. Because when someone has hit that point of serious mental health, serious depression, it's too late in many ways to do the soft aspect of it. It should have been picked up earlier. Then when someone is showing the signs or symptoms of depressive symptoms, that's when you need to start intervening. And there are three things that I always say. First thing is this: they need a positive social network, family, friends, and environment. People who, like I said, positive, help them, support them, guide them, energize them. Second, they need a sense of purpose. They need to be doing something that really gives them purpose and direction in their life. They're doing study and they say, I hate this subject, I'm only doing it because my father wants me to do it. Okay? You know, I'm afraid he's going to have to choose to do something that pleases him rather than his father, because it's killing him inside, yeah? So he's got to have something that really gives him, like I said, the guy said, I want to do music, and I want to do, sport, I don't want to do, aeronautical engineering. So can you see, you've got to give that person a sense of purpose. The third thing is that where they live, or their environment, their home environment should be secure and safe as well, away from, so you minimize the barriers. So these are things that we can do practically. Positive social network, sense of purpose, a secure home environment. These three things, will help that person to rebuild and important. And I cannot stress enough the importance of good social networks, good friends. When you're away from home, on campus, away from you, it's so important that you have people who genuinely care and look after you and are providing you that support and befriending and helping you through those difficulties. But, it's a big question. I'll come up to that. Okay, everyone, let's take our break. For how many minutes? Okay, we'll take 10 minutes break. We'll come back for the second session tonight. Thank you.
So don't go far away. We'll have the second session, and after the second session, food will be provided.
Okay, everyone. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do about 5-10 minutes and really then open it up to the floor for questions. Can we move on, please, in terms of the slides? Next slide, please. Keep on going. Okay, keep on going. Keep on going. More. Okay, the big no-nos. All right, so these are some practical things. These help in the emotional sense and in the relationship sense as well. I'm just going to do them quickly because there's a lot of material I need to get through, unfortunately. No broken promises, no put-downs, no sarcasm, no comparing to others, no taking for granted, no negativity. Now, I want you to imagine that you growing in your home, in your family environment tonight, you take this slide home, and you put this slide on a big poster in your home, and you instruct all your family members, for the next week we're going to try a social experiment. And we are going to not break promises, no one's going to put anyone else down, no sarcasm, i.e., kind of humor which puts people down. I'm not going to compare you to others. I'm not going to say to my oldest child, why can't you be like my youngest child? Or why can't you be like the other child down the road? I'm not going to say that. Okay? I'm not going to just take for granted. And I'm not going to be negative. So I want you to go and do that in your home. Can anyone tell me now about whether they already do this in their home? Anyone? I'm sure you do aspects of it. Anyone tell me about their home environment? Want to share about your home environment? Anyone? Okay, can anyone tell me about, first, are they good rules? Yes?
What would happen in your home environment if you brought these rules in? Yes? Big transformation. Imagine no put-downs. Can anyone tell me what it's like to be put down when you were growing up, especially in your teenage years, being told you're not good enough? And then when you did achieve good, saying it was still not good enough. Tell me how that makes you feel. It's a kind of bullying. Tell me how it feels that no matter what you achieved, that your parents still didn't say that they were proud of you. You know the number of people I work with, and they'll say, all my life, I've got a PhD. I was one family. The son got a PhD. Mother said, oh, but such and such his son, he is the principal of a college. She didn't say, I'm so proud of my son who got it. She said, such and such a son, he's principal. What? You've only got a PhD. How terrible that a parent doesn't tell their child, I'm proud of you. And then on top of that, that child, that parent, when that individual, when they grow on to become a parent, guess what? They've learned behavior that they don't tell their children that they are proud of them. Imagine another example of it, and it happens. Your parents telling you that they don't love you. Yeah? And saying, and I order fathers, go and tell your children, I love you and I'm proud of you. And I think what you've done is amazing, and encourage them and motivate them. So can you see the point I'm trying to make with these 4 issues, yeah, with the big no-nos? Yeah? Can you see the point? If you put these rules in your home environment, you see one of the key issues, and someone asked about self-defeatism, it's called victim mentality. That I see myself as someone who will always be put down. I don't have any value for myself. I don't see myself as a positive. It's learned behavior. And it's learned because of the same thing with emotional intelligence. Your parents don't have emotional intelligence enough that they are actually destroying their children, unfortunately. And then that repeats that cycle. Next slide, please. Okay, let's move on. Can we move on? Back one slide, please. Okay. You know, one of the things I often ask in school days, and a question that I ask, and again, and university days. As far as I'm concerned, my university days, they were the best years of my life. I had so much fun at university. I studied as well. Okay. Bit of study, lots of fun. Okay. Also, my school days were fun, and I loved my teachers. So but then it's also interesting, these years that you're going through. Ask yourself the question 1 to 5. Are these the best days of my life? Are these the best days that I'm having? It's another interesting, and if they're not, again, it's an indicator that there's something not right. Okay, move on. Okay, can I have this, please, yeah? Now, what I found in my work, and obviously I'm new to Korean culture. Can you give me all the... and I do this, in each culture it's different. Internal factors and external factors. Internal factors that cause emotional problems. So for example, I know generally, I think Korean culture is very different to lots of other cultures. One of the biggest factors that causes emotional distress, family, relationships, marriage, children, and social pressure. It's one of the big issues. Our families are often responsible for the most emotional problems that we have. Culture, conflict, taboos and stigmas. If I come from a culture which we don't talk about our feelings, or we don't talk about our emotions, and I can't share, I feel really bad at the moment, because if I share that, it's seen as weakness, I'm seen as a failure, then that's a real big problem. Number 3 is that I've been victimized, I've been bullied, that I've experienced trauma in my life. I've experienced incidents where I've been, like I said, I've lost a lot of self-worth because I've been a victim, and I have genuinely been victimized. These are some of the internal factors that there are many other things. Other things that can be in there are things such as experiencing a bereavement, or another internal factor would be a body image, having a low body image, seeing myself as unattractive. I don't see myself as an attractive person. I see myself as, I'm not thin enough to be accepted in society. I'm not good looking enough, I'm not the right colour, I'm not from the right family or the right social background. Internal factor. Then we've got the external factors.